When The Outer Worlds was announced at the Video Game Awards back in December, a lot of people were excited about this game because it appeared to be an evolution of the modern-day Fallout formula. Also, it came at a time when Bethesda Game Studios was making mistake after mistake with Fallout 76, a game that probably is the worst thing Bethesda as a company has put out in the last number of years. Now, Obsidian has said their first trailer for The Outer Worlds was not meant to be a shot at Bethesda, and whether you believe that or not, many took it as a shot. But Obsidian has said their goal with The Outer Worlds was to give fans the Fallout experience that Bethesda is not necessarily doing anymore. As Obsidian CEO Fergus Urquhart said to Game Informer last month, Bethesda is looking to take the Fallout brand in a different direction. There's nothing right or wrong about that. That's their choice. They own it. They get to do what they want with it. But in our mind, there are people that enjoy where Fallout was. That is what we wanted to do with The Outer Worlds, to give people that. And you know what? Maybe that's a bad decision from the standpoint of the number of people that will buy it. I don't know. People seem to really enjoy what Fallout New Vegas was, so let's give them an experience that's as similar as we can to that. So yeah, pretty much there has only been excitement surrounding this game until now, because just the other day it was announced The Outer Worlds will be another game first coming to the Epic Game Store on PC, a timed exclusive. As it was revealed on Twitter, our partners at Epic Games have announced that The Outer Worlds will be coming to the Epic Game Store at launch, alongside the Windows Store, which makes sense because Microsoft now owns Obsidian. It will be released on other digital platforms 12 months later. The Outer Worlds will still release on Xbox and PlayStation 4 on launch. There are a few things that must be noted about this decision. I'm not entirely too sure if this was one that was directly made by Obsidian Entertainment. I could be wrong about that, but Obsidian was only recently purchased by Microsoft, and The Outer Worlds was a game that's been in development long before that deal was made, which this game is actually being published by Take-Two Interactive's Private Division, which is a branch or a label of Take-Two that only just launched in December of 2017 with the goal of being a developer-focused publisher that empowers independent studios to develop the games that they are passionate about creating while providing the support that they need to make their titles critically and commercially successful on a global scale. So pretty much this publisher handles the business side of things, which makes me wonder if this was Take-Two's doing and not necessarily Obsidian Entertainment. Remember, another game that came under fire for going on the Epic Game Store exclusively at launch was Metro Exodus. This was a decision that was not made by the developers 4A Games, but one that was made by the publisher Deep Silver. Now, if this was Take-Two Interactive's doing with The Outer Worlds, which I think it's a good chance that it was, it's important to note that they are the owners of Rockstar Games and 2K Games, and games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Borderlands 3 both could see PC announcements sometime very soon. In the past, the Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick has commented on the Epic Game Store, but didn't really answer the question of if they would consider going exclusive on that platform. As he said in an earnings call last month, I wouldn't comment on any particular store, but for example, the question has been raised about why we would not as a company be exclusively direct to consumer. I think our experience was that consumers want to shop in a place where they get a multiplicity of titles. We have terrific titles coming from all of our labels, we have a broad offering, but there are other titles besides those coming from Take-Two that people want, so generally speaking, our strategy is to be broadly distributed. And furthermore, he would add, there are times with an exclusive distribution relationship that can make sense, and I wouldn't be in a position to comment on what one of our competitors choose to do. But on balance, we're happy that Epic is going into that business. We're happy to have someone else at the table. Zelnick is also someone who has been known for following the money, so a statement like this should not be considered a confirmation of anything, especially now that The Outer Worlds is a timed exclusive. Additionally, Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford has been very public with his support of the Epic Game Store, so it just wouldn't surprise me if Borderlands 3 is announced as an Epic Store timed exclusive. Overall though, what this is coming down to is cash. Epic Games is dishing out the money for timed exclusives and promising a very fair profit split that Steam doesn't exactly offer. That's actually another factor that has to be considered, maybe one that Obsidian or Take-Two weighed, because The Outer Worlds is using the Unreal Engine, which means had this game been on Steam, they would have been faced with a profit split which isn't exactly appealing as Epic Games owns the Unreal Engine. Again, my suspicion is that this was Take-Two's doing. Now that Obsidian is owned by Microsoft, I'm just not convinced the studio is looking to anger the PC community. And there's also the fact that I don't think that they're desperate for money like they were before. But the reaction to this news has been as bad as it could be, and certainly it will linger over The Outer Worlds. On the Twitter announcement, the top post with almost almost 5,000 likes is a user saying they plan to pirate the game, and as you'll see as I continue to scroll down, it's just numerous users posting over and over their frustration and anger with this news, and many saying they will now boycott this game or pirated. As you can see, there just is not one nice or positive tweet being made about this decision, and I truly do wonder if it will eventually come to light if this was a business decision made by Take-Two or Obsidian. On other social media sites like Facebook, YouTube, and Reddit, the reaction has been just about the same, and one interesting point that I saw brought up is how Obsidian has been actively adding Steam achievements for the last few months, which this just isn't adding up and making a whole lot of sense. As you can see on SteamDB, throughout March, February, and January, Obsidian has been actively updating the Steam store page, and just a month ago in a Game Informer interview, the Outer Worlds directors made no indication that an Epic Store timed exclusivity would be happening.
We do now.
And this is coming out on Steam and PS4 in addition to Xbox, right?
Yes.
Any chance of a Switch version?
I have no idea.
The evidence is pointing to this being Take-Two Interactive's doing. This appears to be another case of a publisher kinda screwing over a developer for what's financially best. Now, this problem facing PC gaming is only going to keep happening. I said this with Metro Exodus, this is just the beginning. Besides this announcement of the Outer Worlds, it was also revealed by Epic Games that Control from Remedy Entertainment, Dauntless from Phoenix Labs, The Sinking City from Frogwares, and Big Bend, Phoenix Point from Snapshot Games, and a few others would be Epic Store PC exclusives. And a surprise announcement, it was also revealed that developer Quantic Dreams is bringing 3 of its games, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human, exclusively to the platform. What I find so interesting is how Epic Games is trying to rush into dominance of this PC marketplace. Don't get me wrong, Steam has practically had a monopoly on PC gaming for years, but Epic isn't exactly making fans happy by how they're going about things. With a game like Metro Exodus, people were pissed about the last-minute exclusivity deal. Even The Outer Worlds has been marketed since its debut trailer for a Steam release at launch, and then there's Phoenix Point, a game that's been crowdfunded with the expectation from backers that they'd get a Steam or a GOG key, but again, an exclusivity deal just recently happened, which fans see as a spit in their face. Now, with all that said, even with all the controversy, Epic Games is claiming that their platform is the best for everyone and is making serious money for developers. They revealed at GDC 2019 that Metro Exodus has sold 2.5 times better on the Epic Games Store than Metro Last Light did on Steam, which that's comparing a 2013 game against a 2019 game. Not exactly a very good comparison in my opinion, but anyway, they're using this stat to prove that the PC gaming community care about the game and not the platform it's being sold on. Ubisoft has also recently announced that they were so happy with how The Division 2 went on the Epic Store that they are extending their deal with Epic Games for several more games. The Epic Games CEO believes that developers will be the ones deciding the dominant store, not consumers. As he said in a recent interview, it's nearly perfect for consumers already. There is no hope of displacing a dominant storefront solely by adding marginally more store features or a marginally better install experience. These battles will be won on the basis of game supply, consumer prices, and developer revenue sharing. Which, I mean, that's a very odd quote considering the lack of features that the Epic Store offers right now compared to Steam. Sure, it appears a ton of them are coming eventually, but for consumers, the Epic Store is pretty meh. The Epic CEO Tim Sweeney has also been taking shots at Steam for the content allowed on their platform, and then there's also concerns with security. The Epic Store apparently has been copying Steam data, something that Valve was not aware of and has now taken issue with. Then there's been accusations of spyware, which is a major problem being that the Chinese corporation Tencent has significant stakes in Epic Games. Gamers are concerned if their data could end up in the hands of the Chinese government, something that Epic Games has denied, claiming no information is ever given out. Anyway, this is just the first few months of the Epic Store's existence, and it continues to be mess after mess. Years ago, there was the console war of Xbox versus PlayStation, which is technically still ongoing, but I think people just got tired of having that discussion. But now we have the PC Store war, which I only wonder what Steam will do to remain on top, because Epic Games' strategy is clearly just buying up all the games and offering a better profit split to developers, something that is working and will continue to work. For now though, The Outer Worlds is the latest game to be embroiled in this Epic Games vs Steam war. As I said throughout this video, considering that Obsidian is now owned by Microsoft, who just put the Master Chief Collection on Steam, this likely was not a decision made by Obsidian but by Take-Two Interactive, who has the most to gain from The Outer Worlds' success, because after this game and potential DLC content is released, the relationship between these two companies is over. The Outer Worlds 2 will be published and owned by Microsoft. Obsidian is also a game developer who has had a strong relationship with the PC gaming community for years, and it just doesn't make sense for them to pull an exclusivity deal that they know will turn the gaming community against them. Before being purchased by Microsoft, they were in financial trouble, but they're no longer independent. They can now concentrate on making good games with the backing of a publisher who wants just that. So with all that said, this likely was Take-Two's doing, who is one of gaming's greediest publishers and wishes to maximize profits, which unfortunately has resulted in them upsetting the PC gaming community. The Epic Games vs Steam war rages on, and I can only wonder what big release is next to become an exclusive. But yeah, this is still the beginning and things could get uglier, but what do you make of The Outer Worlds as a timed exclusive, and what do you make of the backlash with many saying they will now pirate or boycott the game? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games, and again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.